Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be something that came out over 4 months ago. Something that as soon as it came out, a bunch of other people covered it already. You'll find other videos on this topic, hence why I'm sitting in Darkmoor. And the reason why is because we're going to talk about one of the most annoying things to farm, not because of the difficulty of the fight, but the drop rate is extremely low. We're going to talk about our boy, the Headless Horseman. That's right. The big old pumpkin head that we have seen for years and years and years, praying to get his damn horse. And guess what? We got the horse. I got the horse. I got lucky after 30 kills, which is considered insane. Why? Because this drop rate is about 0.5%. And what 0.5% can translate to if you don't know how to do math, that means that on average, he should drop his mount once every 200 kills. That is pretty low. So I got lucky. So we're going to go over how exactly to get to the Headless Horseman and how to summon him. It's pretty straightforward. Alright, so you're going to want to make sure that you are in the Howling Lands, where all the werewolves and stuff are. All the trees. You know that zone. The reason why you want to go there is because that's where the fight takes place. And there's going to be a certain battle arena at the side of this house. And when you get to that, you're going to see like this little shed, this little bridge looking thing. When you see that, that is where once you go and find the pumpkin head, you're going to place it there. But let's talk about step 1, getting the pumpkin head. Somewhere in a random location, semi-random, there's set locations. I just haven't found them all. Hopefully at some point I have a way to show that off, but if not, there are a few set locations. So you'll basically want to go searching around these locations until you eventually find the pumpkin head. Fair warning, there's only going to be one at a time in the realm. So if you don't find it, chances are somebody who was questing might have taken it on accident, or maybe they have their own group. Make sure that you have your group and make sure they're the only ones in the realm, because if somebody else takes the pumpkin from you, you can't do the fight. So that's worth noting. Of course, we have our pumpkin, and we're going to go ahead and place it. After a few seconds, the boss will spawn, and you actually want to catch him while he's running, because if you miss him, you'll have to switch realms and do it again. Because apparently you can actually miss him. It's kind of crazy. And with this, we are going to kill him in 3 turns. You can do 4 turns. 4 turns is more realistic. But if you have a really good team that knows what they're doing, you can actually do it in 3. We're going to do it in 3 here. But this boss has 150,000, which looks like quite the barrier of entry when you compare it to everything else in Darkmoor, which can range between 20 to 35,000 health, with the last boss of the world, Balor, having 12,000 apiece instead of 20. But that's 4 bosses, so hey, what are you gonna do? Anyways, so really all you have to do is just stack and smack, also known as the blade and trap and hit. Keep in mind though, feints are banned. So if you're trying to feint the guy, don't even do it. They're banned. Otherwise, what he will do is this. Right on turn 1, he's going to use an AoE version of his own spell, the Headless Horseman. It's going to hit everybody, and then it's going to place a 30% weakness. On turn 2, he switches it up to what he ends up doing for the most part for the rest of the fight. Which is that at the end of the turn, he'll do a natural attack. Except this natural attack is not random. It will always target whoever has the highest HP at the time. So in our comp, it would always target me. Why? Because I have the highest HP in a lot of comps. Or teams or groups. I don't know why I said comps. But either way, because I have the highest HP, I'm always the one getting hit by that natural attack. And with my resist, it does so little damage that quite literally, I'm guaranteed to be the target. This makes it light years easier. Why? Because that means they don't have to take 2,500 to 5,000 damage every turn. Where me, I only have to take 90 damage every turn. 150 if he places the big trap. But otherwise, to me it's a complete non-factor. Until the aftermath, where he places a small infection on everybody. He does the infection every turn, by the way, but it's really small. But again, it's a non-factor because what we tend to do is we just tend to stack up enough to hit on turn 3. If we're doing a 4-turn hit, on that 4th hitting turn, I will use a spell called Purge, a myth spell, and it will purge all of the effects. Why? Because there's only 3 at the time of use. That's how we manage it. Otherwise, if he happens to use any other weaknesses, then the purge would have to come right away. Just so, you know. Just in case. There's always a just in case. Because you can fail. But the good news is, the way that we were setting this up with all of our weave blades, with all of our traps, with everything that we do, and us coordinating cards, our way of doing this fight is a 100% success, especially when there's 4 of us. If you only have 3, it is a bit iffy. I would stick to the 4-turn strat if you only have 3. If you're trying to duo with just 2, it is possible, but you might have to do a purge on turn 4. Not just to the hitter, but to yourself as well. Why? Because with all these hanging effects that he's putting, like the weakness, the infections, the last notable thing is as soon as somebody has 6 debuffs on them, at the start of that next turn, he's going to use the new death spell Mortality, and that's going to kill them. Although one time when I was doing it a while back, somebody else got their 6 debuffs, and he ended up killing me. Because that Mortality cheat spell is true damage. Your stats do not matter. It's true damage. So keep that in mind. So that is how we do it. We just do a simple blade trap stack. No feint. Hit on turn 3. Shadow Rusalka or King Artorias works. Or if you want to go turn 4, you can use Storm Owl. There you go. And that is how you can farm this guy consecutively. And with that knowledge, what that means is now you have a way to keep doing a bunch of pulls and getting a bunch of kills on him. Meaning you should be able to hopefully get them out at some point. Also, side note, it's not his only drop. That just happens to be his major one. The other one is he has a hat. And what is that hat? It's his pumpkin head. If you like the pumpkin head, you can go for that too. Anyways, that is the entire thing about Headless Horseman. This wasn't very long, because this fight doesn't take long when you know what you're doing. Kind of simple, kind of straightforward. This is just a video showcasing that, hey, this still works. This is still relevant to some people. And if you're someone that's on console and doesn't have Darkmoor yet, because console doesn't have Darkmoor yet for some reason, now you know that once Darkmoor comes out on console, now you know that there's something to do after completing the main story of the world. So there's that. That is all for now. I will see you guys in a future video. My name is Tyr, and I will see you at some point. Probably soon. I'll probably do a build video. Bye-bye.